All right. Just doing the audio. That's all. All right. Continue.
You're doing audio.
Yeah, but we're doing it as like a radio show, kind of like Savage, and then we put it up. We upload it onto YouTube, and we add pictures and stuff like that to it.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of fun. So we add like Gaddafi video, like a Gaddafi picture, and then pictures of different politicians. Because he's a I don't want to say he's a journalist, but he's like a bit of a reporter. He works for Phnom Penh Post and a couple others. Most of his material is for me, so he blends everything together and then puts it up on YouTube and adds it to his website and everything.
Okay.
It's actually a big deal. The school he graduated from is regarded as a, you know...
What school was that?
Columbia University.
Oh, yeah.
So the one that Obama went to, if you graduate from that school, you could pretty much get any job in any media field or any school or anything like that. Goes back to the mental disorder, which is liberalism. Right? That's how he's able to get away with everything he says and stuff. Would you have any Mormons in Australia?
Yeah, I've had them visit me. I've talked to Mormons. Actually, two of them come around to my house. One of them was convinced of what I was telling him, the other one wasn't. The one that was slightly convinced, he come back to see me. I opened up the internet. I showed him the origins of the Mormon Church and all the stupid practices.
Right.
I divulged how the beginning of how Mormonism started. I showed him. I actually had a Mormon book, and he started to see my point of view. And I said, do your own research. You don't have to be brainwashed like this. And I said, because he admitted to me, he says, I think I'm missing out on a big part of my life. Is basically what he was saying when you read between the lines. In other words, he wasn't having sex, he wasn't having fun.
Right.
He was running around the world preaching something which he didn't really understand himself and never knew the foundations or origins of his own religion. I said, do you realise your religion is only a couple hundred years old?
Yeah.
I said, that is insane. You haven't done any research. I said, you can go back through every religion and find its origins if you look hard enough.
Yeah, and the origins of Mormonism is pretty...
well, them and the JWs. Same with the JWs. They're only like 250 years old as well, you know? And then you go back, even, Buddhism is only, 650 AD or whatever?
Yeah, pretty relatively.
Okay, and Christian obviously is 0. The Catholics pretty much put the stamp on it about 100 years after Christ type of thing. But Constantine the Great, he implemented that to unify the Roman Empire.
Right.
That was the best way to unify all the different sects of religion which were competing and separate.
All polytheist beliefs.
Yeah, and it unified and strengthened the country under religion, you know. Like I was saying, my brother's actually got the original book, which has got the Book of Thomas in it. That's got, the Bible's got, 66 books in it, and I think his has got 68 or something. It's got another 2 books in it. I can't remember the exact figures. But it's got the Book of Thomas, and I've done some research on it, and actually went and seen him, and I said, show me the book. And it's worth about $2,000. There's only about a handful of copies in the world. And he got his hands on one. It's about this thick.
So what is it? What's in it?
It's an old Bible, pre-King James Version Bible.
I don't know where King James and I don't know.
King James of England was around 1610, 1612.
Okay,
the King James version of the Bible came out. Now, he had a set of rules, and you can actually go to the London Museum and read the set of rules how to construct and write the Bible. It's actually written there. That was how they'll depict which books were to go into the Bible and how to exactly translate it to follow the Christian theme. Constantine did the same thing earlier in history to tell the scribes how to write the Bible. And there was something like 35 or 40 scribes to write the Bible. Half of them aren't even named. Like the first book of Genesis, for example, is not even named. We don't even know who wrote Genesis.
Right.
Okay? So throughout history, they've been moulding and chopping and changing it. We don't really know what the original Bible was like, if you know what I mean. And it's been translated that many times and twisted. So you've got to ask yourself, what is the purpose? Why would a God come up with such a twisted Bible that can be twisted into thousands of religions?
Right.
Why would an intelligent creature that invented this whole and created the whole universe makes something that's so screwed up it can be twisted into thousands of religions? Why? And why? We're born with 5 senses: eyes, smell, taste, hearing, sight. Why wouldn't this God divulge himself and show himself? Does he have to create a 2,000-year-old dusty old book, hide it in a cave somewhere, in one language, when he created and separated us at the Tower of Babel, apparently,
yes,
and created 60 languages? Why would he then only write it in one book and hide it in a cave in a bunch of scrolls that gets lost and half the books are lost?
It's the mystery. Oh, it's in a cave, you know.
Yeah. So you got to ask yourself: is that the work of a divine God, or is that just the work of some Bronze Age raghead goat herders in the middle of the desert?
Right.
Why would God only divulge that book in one continent, in one little country, in the middle of a desert, in the middle of nowhere? Starting to see the picture?
Yeah, no, I'm not that. Listen, I'm with you 100%.
There is no logic behind saying that an all-intelligent God would make it so confusing that everyone around the world can pull it and twist it in every different direction and make thousands. There are something like 700 different Christian religions alone. There are over 7,000 religions worldwide. And are you to think that you've got the right religion? Well, guess what?
Yeah.
That ain't gonna. You've got a 1 in 7,000 chance of winning.
All right, but at least with Judeo-Christians, you don't really force it onto other people.
Like it's exactly. It's the better of two evils. And like, I think the morals behind a good religion is good. The morals behind an extreme religion like Muslims is absolutely bad.
Yes. I just think religion is needed in a country and in a sovereign nation to keep a fabric of society.
It's not, and I'll tell you the statistics, and you can go onto the internet and research it yourself. The 2 safest countries in the world is Switzerland and Japan. Both of them are secular, they're non-religious.
Okay, but they also are not multicultural.
Well, that's probably why they're a safe country.
There you go. It goes back to that.
So they're not extremists with their religion, so it's safe in that regard, and they've got rid of all the extremists that come into their country. They don't allow them in. It's very hard to live in Japan, that is correct.
No, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Did we get that one? Yes.
And they're a wealthy country.
Yeah, they are, despite the recession and everything like that. Yeah, and the more fanatical and religious the country is, the more violent it is. Brazil.
Well, the statistics are, and I didn't believe it till I did the research, but the more religious a country is, the more violent it is.
Yes,
you look
correct.
at Syria, and every country that is part of any raghead nation is the same.
Well, even South America.
South America. You've got the drug lords down there that are buried in their graves with machine guns stuck on top.
Because in their mind, they can get forgiven after killing someone. That's their whole theory behind it. When it's not something you're using religion as a scapegoat to do the killing. Yes.
And some of them actually do believe it. You know, they'll believe.
I forgave you. I'm forgiven if they're killing someone. No. Well, also those countries are very new. Their populations are very young. They're a new country. They're much newer than America, Brazil. All those countries are relatively new. But I don't know. As far as America goes, I think it's kind of nice that we are still religious in some regards. I know from what Tim has said how whacked out and fanatical they are, but be religious, but don't be crazy about it. That's all.
Sure, and like there's nothing wrong with it if that's the case. But if they're starting to control other people's lives and become, how could I say it, prejudiced against you because, for example, I couldn't keep a job with the company because I wasn't religious once, and I ended up having to leave because I was ostracised.
It's just bullshit. You could have bullshitted.
And guess who I worked for? My nephew.
Oh, that's hysterical. That's pretty funny.
Well, it happens. And it happens a lot in the US. It's like, particularly the Mormons and the JWs are the worst. They are actually what you call a cult.
Yes, they are a cult.
And you pretty much can't leave the leave the JWs and stay with... the husband and the wife will then have to be disowned from the church as well if one of them leaves. Same with the Mormons. And that's pretty sad.
Two stats about the Mormons. The Mormons only live in one state in America. They live in Utah. Here's some 2 crazy stats, all right? The most porn watched in the United States is watched in Utah, and the lowest use of welfare or any type of government assistance is also in Utah.
So why is the lowest welfare? Why is that?
Because they don't believe in,
okay.
you see, which is very nice.
But they're the most sexually deprived,
Most
so
sexually
they
deprived, yes.
substitute it with the pornography on the
Right,
internet.
exactly.
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense also. So there are two interesting facts about it. And if you go back 50 years, 60 years with the Catholic Church, it was the same way. Catholic Church is a simple saying, if it feels good, stop. That's the Catholic Church. If it feels good, don't do it. You know? But I'm not saying if it feels good, do it in the street. That's what the other side says.
Just changing tacks here, do you understand how religion plays into whether people care for the earth or not?
Yeah, I think
You
so.
understand how
100%.
extreme religions people believe that Christ is returning to earth, so there's no point taking care of earth, because Christ will come back, and there will be a new earth, or they will be taken to heaven, depending which religion.
So what,
you
litter,
believe.
throw everything
Well,
in the
no,
street?
it's written in the Bible that the earth is here for you to
enjoy.
Yeah, to use to your abundance, okay? It's up to you. It's not up to you to be green or...
All right, but to a point, can you do that? Not to the point where you can just spew your shit in the air and everything.
Well, what do you think about this planet? Okay, just forgetting about religion, there will be no God returning or Jesus Christ or whatever. 100 years in the future, do you think that we should be thinking now, planning for the future?
No.
You don't think we should be planning for the future?
Absolutely not.
So you don't care about your grandkids or their kids or their kids?
I won't be here.
I'm the same, I don't care either, but do you think that politicians or people that do think of the future, they should be caring and do something?
Well, no, because then, again, an individual is looking out for number one first.
Yeah.
Okay, same thing with a politician. He's going to look out for himself first.
Let's ask a different question. Do you think for the Earth's benefit and the future benefit of mankind?
To a point, to a degree. Do I believe in regulating nuclear power? Absolutely. Do I think nuclear power is good? I really not big of a fan of nuclear power because of, for obvious reasons. But you shouldn't be shooting yourself in the foot for the future. I think people will adapt. If the temperature, or whatever, if you believe in global warming or climate change, I'm personally a little bit skeptical about the whole idea. I think human beings will adapt to the change in whatever it might be.
What about population control? Because that's how this
Certain regions.
That's how this planet will be sustainable eventually. If they don't have population control, we'll be like Easter Island.
They will. I do. Okay, China, Indonesia, Vietnam, okay, Korea, Cambodia. Those countries need to get their act together because they want to keep growing and they want to keep using resources.
Japan apparently is going backwards with population.
It's going backwards. Well, that's because of social problems. They're going backwards because their women don't have sex and guys are watching porn. That's a fact, and it's happening in America and Europe.
Too expensive to get married, and the economy is very expensive.
My boss is calling. I'll call him back. Yeah, it's getting too expensive. In all honesty, yeah, I do like the idea of population control. I think there's some serious drawbacks if you start doing that, like for example what's happening in China. But I think the world will change. The Earth is a living, breathing thing. Everything lives, everything moves, tectonic plates, all that other stuff. The Earth can get rid of people if it really wanted to. We're an insect, we're nothing. If you go into 1,000 years into the future and there was no humans left, there'd be nothing really left. Everything will be gone. We'll be left a porcelain tile. There'll be a porcelain tile, some nuclear waste. The Earth will heal itself. That's what I think. There are finite resources, but eventually those finite resources will and do come back. You chop down every tree in the world, guess what? The trees are going to start growing again eventually in the future. That's that. Oh, there's peak oil. You're going to run out of oil. Oh, the oil's going to run out. Guess what? Oil's going to come right back, and they've proven that already in Texas. They said, oh, this well is dry. Okay, so they left the well. They capped it and everything. They went back 10, 15 years later, it's full again. What happened to peak oil? What happened to all that other bullshit? The Earth would adapt. Period. If it wants to get rid of 1 billion people, it will get rid of 1 billion people. Like I said, as far as climate change and all that, people will just adapt. Eventually, humans won't be here anymore. You're not gonna. People will just adapt. You're just gonna change. Neanderthals to Homo sapiens. That's all. It changes, man.
That's evolution.
Evolution will just change everything. I don't. Again, when you go back to the Bible, I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in evolution.
No, I do believe in evolution.
So you believe in a God and evolution.
Yeah, why not?
So you believe. So you don't believe in Genesis.
I never read Genesis.
Well, it said basically if you add up the numbers, the Earth's 6,000 years old.
No. That was written before there was actual real science involved. All right.
What part of the Bible can you take as 100% true?
None of I can't take any of it true.
So you basically can only.
It's a guide. It's just a guide.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just a guide on how you live your life.
So what I'm trying to say after all that is you are not a Christian. You're not even a Catholic.
Oh, really? Oh, that's...
You've just figured it out.
No, I have no small money, sorry. I don't have anything small.
So if you don't believe the Bible and any of that, because you know it's only a metaphor.
Right. I'm not getting that. Oh, small. Here's 500. Yeah. Alright, you got it, darling. And sometimes you gotta give a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway.